come around here so I can tell you what I'm doing. So, look at that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 seeds sank. Everybody looks good so far. Again, these have been in the vitamin and sterile water solution overnight. So these have hydrated as much water as they're going to need to pop and germinate. We just need to put them into soil, and for that we're going to put them into the sterile soil tubes that we made. I'm going to clean my tool one more time with a little spray of alcohol, just make sure that's clean. And these guys are pretty easy. I will just drain the water out of this. It'll make them easier to grab so they're not bouncing around inside. One of the reasons I counted them was to make sure I didn't have any hidden against the lid or anything. But I've got people who do like 16 or even 30 tubes, 30 seeds in a soak. And that's okay, you know, because the cleaner will manage everything. What I'm going to do here, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go ahead and clean my plate too. I brought a plate out for this, and this is an extra step that's not absolutely necessary, but I like to line up the seed so that it is the point is in the direction of down. So when I stick it in the soil, it'll go straight down. There we go. It was really just for seed alignment, and I'll also plant it right along the edge of the soil. So I keep it in the scissors, go down just about a ½ inch, let it go. There's a little bit of loose soil on it, tap, tap. Do that, you can rinse the tool, and really just repeat that. Get them all the right direction, there we go. Cool thing about putting them up against the glass is that when they germinate, we can see it. We can see them pop up, and the little seeds start to, the little seed tail come out. This is really it. You know, seeds will pop up in just a couple of days. If your seeds take longer than 5 or 6 days, we do want to make sure we got them at the right temperature. But we've had good seeds that took even 12 or 14 days. They're in a sterile tube, so part of it is just be patient and not worry about them. If your tube is a little bit underhydrated, you know, because some of these kits are sold weeks or months ahead of time through distribution. You're going to buy them from an online retailer or a store. It is perfectly okay to use the sterile water that we just soaked seeds in, just, you know, for a little hydration. We don't want anything to be too wet. The perfect consistency in here is what I call cake, chocolate cake. I can see moist particles right up against the side of the glass, and in between it I can see air pockets all the way to the bottom. So these are not too wet or too dry. There is all the moisture in here that this seed is going to need to germinate and stand up. So everything is good. If we get to like 14 days and it's still not doing anything, we can take the seed out of the tube, you know, and examine it again, see if it's tried to germinate, and it just stopped. And sometimes, you know, we get a hiccup like that. That is a seed that may not fully germinate on its own, and that's why the kit comes with a couple of rescue tubes like that, because we take that guy out, give it a rinse and just the cleanest water you can. I'll do just, you know, a little water, tap water or filtered water that I boiled in the microwave. So I'll boil in the microwave once or twice, so I know it's clean, and I'll drop the seed in there when it's cooled so that I can rinse off that little bit of dirt and use this forceps again, sprayed with alcohol, and just put that seed right in the center of this agar medium, only about halfway in. I want half of it is in the agar and the other half breathes air, and this will feed that little seed sugar directly. It's the only chance it's going to grow. We're going to use tissue culture to try and grow whatever little bit of life is left in there. If your seed has sprouted, or if the seed shell has split and the embryo is coming out, then we take that embryo out and plant it in here with in a U. Yet the root radical will be pointing up. That's okay, because we want the growth that is right between those two little cotyledons, those two little seed leaves. You know where the next little leaves are going to come from. Where that does a U is the part that we'll plant in this medium, because this will go into the neck of that seed. That's called the hypocotyl. It'll go into the area just where the cotyledons meet, and just by ordinary diffusion or osmosis through a membrane, it will make its way to that last little living bit of tissue, and we just cross our fingers that it does something. If it starts to grow in tissue culture, contact microclone.com, because you're going to need some more tissue culture materials to keep it going, but we will have saved your seed. And lastly is, if it doesn't do anything in there either and it just sits there, I highly recommend using a registration service like Medicinal Genomics Universe to at least register your DNA, because if it's gotten soft enough that the little cotyledons have started to split and you can see a little space between them, there is usually enough, there's the likelihood that it has undegraded DNA that could be extracted for a registration test. You know, who knows, whatever strain that was valuable enough for you to use this kit, you know, you'd have to evaluate a $100 registration, but at least you'd find out who else had your seed and is in your neighborhood, because they might have plants, and you guys could work out something in the future. And the same way, they can find you, same reason. So anyway, we highly recommend registration in any case, and we can germinate and register a partially germinated seed. That's the kit. There's all our little plants right there. As always, label everybody. Keep this in a moderate location. We're looking for about 76 degrees, never higher than 80 if you can help it. 50% humidity is fine. The replacement kits, all the pieces to refill all of this, are only about $10, and those are available at microclone.com. If you just bought the seed kit and you haven't done tissue culture yet, highly recommend you explore the starter tissue culture. It is really easy, and it will give you a lot of the same tools that we're using here, so you can do seed starting in the tubes one time, and then you can do tissue culture starts in them the next time. I will tell you from experience, years and years of selling kits and teaching growers, is that they will always be coming back for some more vessels and some more media, because it becomes a more important part of the gardening they're doing, and it's really that easy. This is what you set up near your kitchen, someplace when you're not in the garden, and you can still be gardening. Microclone.com. Bam.
Bam.
I'm not sure which ones of these have plants in them. I think that's them.
Okay.
The first 5.
Cool.
Cool, thank you for setting that up.
Yes, that I think was really good, and I'm excited to.
Yeah, we'll see what these little
back and
suckers
check it
do over here.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's going to be really cool, is coming back to it as well.
I want to make those plants. We got autoflower
I know.
and feminized.
All the good stuff.
We'll get some more water.
Mm-hmm. Good. I just need to take this with me.